Yo, what's up, YouTubers? This is Jason for your viewing pleasure. Water does a body good. Pass it on. So, we'll see if anybody comes and checks out my channel. It's Friday night. Probably most people, unlike me, have lives. So they're probably like, I don't want to go and watch Jason talk about baseball because that guy's super lame. I don't want no super lame dude coming and talking to me about baseball on a Friday night. Screw that guy. But I found this in my collection recently, and I don't remember how I came about it, quite frankly. I know if it's something my pops gave it to me, or I picked it up in a lot or something. But I wanted to go through this because if you all remember, this is a 1990s, I believe, blast from the past. As you can tell, we got, Nolan Ryan throwing some heat right here on the front cover. I think this thing is complete awesomeness. I'm going to look real quick and see what year did this actually come out in. See, it even comes with a little, like, inserts. I'm trying to look. Does anybody remember what year it came out? See here. Nothing there. Trying to look and see. I don't see it. They don't tell me. Oh, it's a 1-800 number. Where is it? I'm glad they had this guy out here telling us how to do it. It doesn't say what year this came out. That's weird. You would think it would.
I almost got him. No.
All right. So the first one up is Bo Jackson in a California Angels uniform in a uni. So I don't know if you all remember these from back in the day, but this thing is awesome. I always thought it'd be such a cool set to get autographed because they're like such great pictures on here and great images and like tons of good information. But here it shows them with the White Sox and the Oakland Raiders. And so it doesn't show him at all with the Kansas City Royals. So it just shows him with the California Angels and the White Sox. But it's so cool. I just love it. So there's the first one is Bo Jackson. I'm interested to see who they picked in this binder because I haven't went through it in years, probably 20 plus years, maybe longer, maybe 30 years.
Yeah.
So the next up they had on here was Juan Gonzalez. Juan Gone. So here is Juan Gone. There you go. You see him and his awesomeness. This is the making of a champ. Got a little timeline here for him. Look at that. Juan Gone. And then we have the back page here. That's for you, Victor. I'm talking about Hall of Fame caliber. He's that special. Quoted Dean Palmer of one of his teammates. So let's go back and look at, did Bo Jackson have a quote from somebody? Idle time is something that doesn't fit into my agenda, Bo Jackson. Nice. So let's see if they have anything else about him in here, any other quotes. Here we go. This is from George Barrett. With Bo, you never know when you're going to see something you've never seen before. I would say that's pretty fair to say, George Barrett. Hall of Famer George Barrett. So let's take a look here. Did anybody else have any other quotes for Juan Gone? Let's take a gander. I always knew that something big was going to happen to me. The confidence is impressive. So let's keep on trucking. Who is next? Oh, yeah, we got Kirby Puckett. Kirby Puckett's number 3 on this list. Kirby Puckett had a quote given to him by Ray Miller, a former A's manager. You look at him and you think he's a fat kid. You touch him and you realize he's like concrete. I don't know if that's a compliment or what, but there it is. Let's take a look here. There's any other quotes. But here's a quote from Kirby. Accept who you are and make the most of what you have. So Kirby Puckett, I didn't realize Kirby Puckett was only 5'8". So that means he was only 1 inch taller than I am. But he was boss at the plate. So let's just see how good he is. It says right here some stats, like how well he stacked up. And it says, although Puckett had a subpar season in 1993, he came roaring back in 94. Here's how his stats for that monstrous season compared to those games and other hot hitting center fielders. So as batting average, he was .317. The only person next to him that was higher than him was Ken Griffey Jr. and Kenny Lofton. Hits, he had 139, and Griffey had 140, and Kenny Lofton had 160. Runs was 79, Kenny Lofton had 105. Home runs 20, Kenny Griffey Jr. had 40. They had 112 RBIs, which is a lot more than the next closest was Griffey Jr. at 90. So that was an interesting little read there. Hang on, Kirby. Well, next up, shocking, since we just talked a little bit about him, it's the kid. Ken Griffey Jr. is number 4. Number 4 on the list here. So here is a quote from Gene Kleins, the Mariners hitting coach. I don't think anybody's ever been that good at that age. And I think most of us would agree that is true. Quote from Ken Griffey Jr. is, as long as I have fun playing, the stats will take care of themselves. Very, very deep, Mr. Griffey Jr. So it's very cool here looking at some of this stuff. Here's some fast facts about Mr. Ken Griffey Jr. Just a slow roll. This. So apparently, I took a break. I went through and watched. I caught up on all the YouTube videos over the last, I don't know, half afternoon. Through half afternoon, I just made up a word. The last half day that I was behind on. I took a break, spent some time with my son. I could finally get him off the video games, if you know what I'm saying. And so we watched some Yankees and Red Sox games. And then I go back on and I see Isman70, I believe is Isman70. He had his drawing tonight for his 100 subscriber contest. And he had a very simple premise, but it was very cool. I'm surprised more people don't get in on it. It was like the video, subscribe to his channel, and just say who's like one of your main PCs, like what's your theme of your collection or something along those lines. That was it. I went back and watched the video just to make sure it wasn't anything more difficult than that. And so I went back and watched it, and then he had the drawing today. And I think he said he had more than 10 people, maybe, but then some people actually didn't follow those simple 3 rules, and they weren't either subscribed or they didn't subscribe on his channel, so they by proxy were not added as the possible contestants. And then he had this, kind of like randomizer or whatnot. And I was actually in on it because I can follow the rules. I can usually follow simple instructions. And it was 5 rolls, so 4 people went before me. And on the 5th time, my name got pulled. I couldn't believe it. I was like, "What?" He was very excited. My son can confirm. I was very excited. Like, I don't ever think I want to win anything because I just, I'm just not that much of a person who considers I'm gonna win when I do these things. I just do it more for fun. But when he pulled up and he said, when it came up as a zombie collection, I was like, oh my gosh, I think he said this is the one that counts. I was so excited. So that's actually, I'm now, this is the 2nd win I've made in the last couple of weeks because I won with Skills Big Hits a couple weeks ago, and I know it took him a while to get me the package, which of course is fine.
Dad, I'm playing with somebody. His name's Spiritual Booty.
That's disturbing.
What do you say, Dad?
So that's disturbing. So I got that from him. I won that probably about a month or so ago. And then, like I said, he's a college kid. We talked about in the video. So, I'm sure money and or time are not the two things he has the most of right now, which is totally fine. But I got the care package in the mail over this past week. But I'm super pumped because I have no idea. Because what I put on there for Izzy, I said, hey, Ichiro is my number one if I'm going to pick anybody. And so, that's fine. But I mean, honestly, as you all know me, it could be Don Mattingly, it could be Barry Larkin, it could be any of the Japanese ball players, Jose Altuve, any of the vintage guys I like, Pee Wee Reese, Monty Irvin, those guys are a lot more expensive. And I'm not looking, this is a giveaway for 100 subscribers. It's not like I'm paying him money, so I'm not about to ask him for something huge. I'll be grateful for whatever because I won, so it doesn't even matter. Like, as long as it's not like a poop in a box, I'm good. So, again, I got some refreshments over here. So moving on, number 5 is Barry Bonds. Barry Lamar Bonds. I think it's Lamar. I could be wrong, but I want to say it is. So Barry Bonds. His quote is, "I want to be the first to win the MVP 4 times." I don't really know if he won the MVP 4 times. I'm sure he probably did. I would not be surprised. A quote was from Don Slott, former teammate. "Whenever we need the big hit or the big play, it seems like he's always there." I would say that's pretty true. How good is he? Here we go. 10 of history's best left fielders are graded below in 6 key categories.
Oh, okay.
So there is the list. I'm trying to get it as best I can if you all can see it.
Wyatt, come over here.
So let's take a look here. They got Barry Bonds pretty much like A's and a B pluses across the board. So for left field, let's see if anybody had better than him. So for defensive range, they gave him an A. For throwing arm, a B plus. For speed, an A minus. For hitting for average, B. And clutch hitting, a B plus. So did anybody get any A pluses? No. But did anybody get any just regular A's? There's a handful of people who got regular A's. So on this list, after Bonds, was Lou Brock, Ricky Henderson, Ralph Kiner, Joe Jackson, Stan the Man Musial, Jim Rice, Willie Pops Stargell, Ted Williams, the Splendid Splinter, and Carl Yastrzemski. So, as far as who had the most A's, Joe Jackson has 4 out of 6 A's. So, I would think that by default wins. Joe Jackson had A's in defensive range, or A minus in defensive range, A minus from throwing arm, A minus in speed, B in power, A in hitting for average, and B plus for hitting clutch. So, as you all know, I'm not the biggest fan of Barry Bonds.
Whoa!
But I do respect, obviously, what he did on the field. Some of that suspect there towards the end. I'm not going to get into that today in this video, but it is what it is. All right, let's see who's next on the list.
Why? Do you actually
Ooh.
have a long friend?
We go for, it's kind of ironic, don't you think? Now, for all you, what's her name? Alanis Morissette fans out there. So we went from one cheater to another. So here's the next cheater. Like literally, I could not make this up. So Barry Bonds was listed number 5. Pete Rose was listed number 6.
Oh no!
I don't know how I feel about that, honestly. I mean, you know, it's just pretty interesting. So the Pete Rose quote is, "I'd walk through hell in a gasoline suit to keep playing baseball." That's pretty intense quote. Somehow I don't know how I've ever missed that. That is a pretty intense quote. Lou Brock has said of Pete Rose, "He seems to have an obligation to hit." That's actually kind of a cool quote from Lou Brock. So pretty cool. Let's take a look here and see what. I mean, like I said, look at that. The Charlie Hustle, man. Charlie Hustle. Kind of like what I've said about Barry Bonds. Either you like him or you don't like him. But there's nothing you can take away from his stats. Pete Rose, obviously, he just was, he hustled. Hence the name, Charlie Hustle. He did not do the game at 50% or 75% or even 95%. He did the game at 120% at all times. It's pretty impressive. I'm not a big fan of what he did with the game, you know. Again, this is not the venue right now tonight to discuss that, but it is what it is. Well, here is Dustin Abraham's favorite baseball player of all time. Apparently, Dustin grew up watching him as a kid. George Herman Ruth. Baby Ruth. So, Red Smith, a sports writer, has said of Babe Ruth, "It wasn't just that he hit more home runs than anybody else. He hit them better, higher, and farther." I would agree with that. That's pretty a bold statement. And Babe Ruth was Z-Man. Hey, look, Orioles. Didn't he start out of the Orioles initially? I thought that's how he started out. I know he's from Baltimore. Did he start with the Orioles initially? Like, I don't think he actually ever played for them per se, but I don't know. Babe Ruth's quote for himself was, "If it wasn't for baseball, I'd be either in the penitentiary or a cemetery." That's legit. Excuse me. There's that quote. That says a lot. The Babe Ruth knew his situation was pretty dire if it wasn't for them baseball games. Both my son and I need to get a haircut. Outfielder and pitcher. Well, it doesn't show he actually ever played for the Baltimore. Excuse me. He went for the Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees, which we knew, but then he also played for a short time with the Boston Braves. From one left-hander to the other, separated by just a few years, both being Yankees, but both of them did not start out as Yankees, but both ended up as Yankees at some point in their careers. This is probably one of my new favorite PC guys. I just need to really get buckled down and get a lot more of his cards. It is Jim Abbott. A quote by Doug Rader, his former manager, was, "I never cease to be amazed by Jim. He's in a class by himself." And here's a great picture of him showing what he could do. He started out with the Angels. He was born with missing a right hand, if I'm not mistaken. It was I don't know if the correct terminology was a deformity. He was born without it, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, that's how it went down. And I am sorry if that is not the way it went, but I'm pretty sure that's how it was. I remember it. His quote that he gave was, "The pursuit of doing well in baseball is what I'm all about." So it shows here that in the highlights they had for him as of 1994, I'm assuming this came out in 1994, so in 94 I would have been, I don't know, let's see, 88, 10, so 94, I'd have been like 15 years old at that point, or close to it. So at this point, I'm kind of like not into baseball or sports anymore. But there's highlights where he's a two-time Big Ten champion, college All-American 1988, Olympic gold medalist 1988, Sullivan Award winner 1988, and then he threw a no-hitter in 1993. And I just think, I don't think I really appreciated what Jim Abbott did when I was a kid. The one thing I can also say is I found interesting is that I never thought about his disability, if you want to call it that, which I think he actually, said it's not. But whatever the right terminology is you want to use there, I never even thought of him as that, as a person who had a disability. I just thought of him as a guy who was an awesome pitcher. And I think that says a lot because when people would look at him, you would say, obviously he has a disability, but it was not at all a disability for him. He would be a lights out pitcher regardless. So I think that's pretty cool. Pretty cool, Mr. Abbott, if I do say so myself. Pretty cool.
There was like a million people just in one small area battling.
Did you lose?
Huh?
Did you break the law and the law won?
No, but I kept on killing everybody.
Did you?
Did you say that?
That's what you did?
Yeah.
What's up, Steve? Carter's Kids, what's up? I'm going through some 1994
Why?
binder
You have TSA
of a bunch of like,
or something like that?
oh, well, thanks, Steve. You lasted like in all 30 seconds, but it's all right, man. I still like you. So anyway, going on, I'm at number 9, Mr. October, Reggie Jackson. Oh, hey, what's up, dude?
Okay,
I thought you just dipped out on me. I was like, all right, that's cool. That's cool. You got me all excited and just dipped out. So I don't know if you remember seeing this as a kid, Steve, but I'm going through this Sports Heroes, Feats, and Facts binder that I have. I think my dad gave it to me way back when. I just came across it recently. So it has like hundreds of different sports stars in it. And I'm on number 9 right now. So, just kind of talking a little bit about the players as I come across them. Talking about some fun facts. Talking some quotes that the little pamphlets have. If you have anything you want to share. What's up, Victor? We got a party. Well, whenever 2 or more to gather together, it's considered a gang. So we are a gang now. Me, Steve, and Victor. Yes. I am just like Andy Kaufman doing The Great Gatsby. I mean, maybe not as entertaining. I don't have that kind of voice, but I would definitely think it's right up there with some of the greatest shows you'll ever see on celluloid. So Reggie Jackson, Mr. October. Here is David Darnell Knowles, his teammate, what they said about him. There isn't enough mustard in the world to cover that hot dog. That was a quote, not by me, but by Darnell, what was his name? Knowles. And then here's a quote from Reggie Jackson about himself. There is no one who does as many things as well. Okay, hold on. I don't know. Maybe I need to read this one more time. Try this again. There is no one who does as many things as I do well. Or as well as I do. It's so weird to hear somebody talk about themselves in third person? It kind of throws me for a loop. So let me read that one more time. Yes, he does. There is no one who does as many things as well as I do. There we go. Sorry, guys. I went to a public school, so sometimes my reading might be suspect. Very humble. You're right. Very humble guy. But I think the quote from Darnell Knowles was hilarious about the hot dog. There ain't enough mustard for that hot dog. I mean, let's be honest, guys. He was Mr. Clutch. And I'm not taking anything away from him. I mean, he definitely was a great ball player. But, he was a little bit conceited, to say the least. To say the least, just a smidge. So let's take a look. Who's next? Ooh. Dustin Bellinger would be appreciated at this because next up is Roberto Clemente. Roberto Clemente. Number 10 on the list is Roberto Clemente. Now, I might be mispronouncing this guy, but his name is Bowie Kuhn, former commissioner of baseball. Is it Bowie or Bowie? Bowie Kuhn, maybe? Not David Bowie. But he said he had about him a touch of royalty. That was a pretty nice quote. He had about him a touch of royalty. Bowie pronounced. Okay, Bowie. I thought it would be Bowie, but... And then what Roberto Clemente said was, I want to be remembered as a ball player who gave all he had to give. And I think we all would agree that was very true. Too bad he was taken away from us too soon. But that is for sure. I don't think he got enough love and respect in Pittsburgh while he played there. You know, it's a small market team during mostly the late 50s and 60s into the 70s.
I have 2 rocket launchers.
You know, I don't think America was quite enamored with him as they should have been back in the day. Howard Cosell. That's cool. Hey, I believe you. You're a teacher. Everything teachers say is true, right? It's just like the paper. If it's in the paper, it has to be true. If a teacher tells you that, it has to be true. So some quick highlights from Mr. Clemente's career. 2-time World Series champ. World Series MVP in 1971. 12-time Gold Glove winner. 12-time All-Star selection. 4-time National League batting champ. 3,000 hits in 1972, hit that marker, and then was in the Hall of Fame in 1973. So there are some highlights from Mr. Clemente. I like that they got a practice tip right here for you, for kiddos out there. So anyways, I didn't realize he was from Puerto Rico, but did he died in Honduras or Dominican Republic giving aid? Like trying to help, I can't remember exactly. I didn't realize he was from Puerto Rico. That works out perfect for you, Victor. For some reason, I thought he was from the country that he passed in. So, here is a big-time 90s baseball player, late 80s, but mostly 90s. I kind of talked a little bit about him in one of my other videos. Yes, you did show your Victor. Yeah, yes, you're right. It's John Olerud. I think all three of us remember Mr. Olerud quite vividly during his playing days. His quote is, "I'm just glad to be alive." I would say, hopefully we are. I didn't realize that John Olerud was actually 6'5". That's really tall. I had no idea. I think maybe we'll find out here if they have his stats on here. We will. Yeah, he hit 363 in 1993. What's up, Alex? Bowman 53 in the hizzy. I'm getting all emo that Alex is here. I think I need a deep thoughts with something. Yeah. Jack Haney's taking the night off, so it's with me now. Oh man, I missed that. Whoa. Woohoo! Whoa, let's get ready. There we go. I'm trying to read that last message that you left, Victor. Hold on. I remember when he got hurt in the 2004 World Series. Yes, I do remember. Yeah, that is true. Good memory. I don't have any 1953 Bowmans to show you, dude. I wish I did, but unfortunately, I'm on a poor man's budget.
Oh.
But I did get this Rocket American League jersey just for all you kiddos out there from the Goodwill. But yeah, John Goodman. I know you took a break to buy a Jackie Robinson. I know. Slow your roll, man. He took a big break. That was such an awesome card, dude. Such an awesome card. I know I mentioned it in your video, but man, that card, like, I want a Jackie Robinson. I don't even care what it is. I mean, Jackie Robinson, any original Jackie Robinson card that's in halfway decent shape, I would love to have.
Are you doing another stream?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I almost tipped your camera over. Hi.
Everybody, here's my son. Look at that. Look, he's rocking the Derek Jeter. That's my boy. Derek Jeter. Is he going to the Hall of Fame? Do you think Derek Jeter will be in the Hall of Famer?
Yeah. Wait. No, wait. Listen to me real quick. Wyatt, listen to me real quick.
All right.
Pull out my mic and I'm gonna say hi to my dad's viewers, and then you're all gonna say hi, okay? And I'm gonna unplug my mic.
Luca, do you collect?
Say it on 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Sorry guys, they're a little mean.
They're talking some smack about Derek Jeter. Some parents are gonna lose their children tonight. They talk this smack.
Go Derek Jeter.
Hey, Luke, yeah, there you go, my son. Hey, Luke, one of the guys asked you, do you collect anything?
Sorta.
He collects girlfriends.
Oh, whatever.
He's collecting.
Yeah, now they're saying go. Now they're saying go David Ortiz. That's what they're saying.
Oh my goodness. So here's a weird thing, guys. So my son is by proxy a Yankees fan because I'm a Yankees fan because that's how it rolls. However, and this is in Indiana, that he has a handful of friends who are Red Sox fans. So there's like this actual battle in central Indiana between like Yankees fans and Red Sox fans here. And so like they were like going, like when my son was going, go Derek Jeter, they're all screaming, go David Ortiz. And so I find it interesting. We're stuck here in Indiana and we're having this conversation about two retired players from two teams in two states that are hundreds of miles away and nothing to do with Indiana. So it just shows you that it's like a sickness no matter where you go. But to answer your question, Alex, my son was collecting some football cards for about maybe a handful of months. But then, as you would expect, video games become more and more important. And now that you can connect with your friends online, I think, unfortunately, sports cards kind of fell to the wayside. Actually, I'm supposed to be getting together tomorrow. Well, not supposed, it's going to happen. Me and Bob Lewis are getting together tomorrow. We're going to do our own Nationals get-together at a local card shop here in Indiana because he's in town. So, I remember Nintendo, man. Dude, trust me, I remember the Nintendo. Whenever I first got it, was in 1985. My dad bought it for me and my brother. And oh my gosh, I never left the basement for like a decade after that. That's why I'm so pasty white. It's surprised I didn't turn into an albino with red eyes. But Bob Lewis is coming to town, and I'm going to take him to a beautiful, picturesque Greenfield, Indiana, to the local card shop there. We're going to do some baseball card buy-in and peruse in the aisles. It's like a throwback to the 1980s in his shop. It's so awesome. Tons of vintage. Tons of boxes that's been untouched by the human hand. He just likes laying around. Bunch of wax. So hopefully we can maybe go there, buy some stuff, and then maybe do some videos. Maybe we'll do some live streaming. Maybe we'll do some box breaks or pack breaks or show off what we got at like at a restaurant or something. So that might be fun. Hold on, yeah. Yeah, I think it's cool that we're meeting up too. I'm excited. Like he's the first YouTube friend I've ever hung out with. We hung out a couple days ago, which I've done a video for. But it's really exciting, and it's kind of like says, hey, it's possible to hang out with some of you cool blokes down the road if time allows. So let's say, hey, tell your son that he can connect online with his friends over cards. That might be too much like his dad, though. Yeah, I know. I know. That's a perfect example. You're so right. I mean, if you would ask me if I was going to be doing live streaming and YouTube videos and baseball card collecting a year ago online or anything, I'd have told you there's no way. I have no interest in doing it. I was so into film, which I still am. And, that community, the film community of like collecting Blu-rays and DVDs and collectors box sets and all that, it's kind of like a fickle group. It's a different kind of mindset too. I'm more of a conservative guy. I don't really talk about it on the videos because it's not important. But, that community is a lot more like aggressive and a little bit more matter of fact in your face. And sometimes I like to push buttons. And, I just like, I never thought I would want to do YouTube videos because it's such it's a different crowd. Nothing wrong, just not my crowd. And then I started going to the card shop again, which I'm going to be taking Bob to. And it kind of got my juices going again. And I'm like, this is fun. Like, it's not expensive. His prices are extremely reasonable. Plus, it kind of reminds me of my childhood. And it kind of got me going. This is about almost a year ago now, maybe about 8-9 months. And then I thought, I stumbled upon Troy Rudder, Maiko, Ed Wesker Griff, and Caesar were all around the same time I caught them. It kind of was like a domino effect. Like I caught Troy, and then like Troy would talk about Mike, and then Mike would talk about Ed, and then Mike, Ed, and Troy would talk about Caesar. And I just got connected to those guys by watching their videos, and I'm like, hey, I can do that. I mean, there's nothing too sexy about it. Like I just put my camera up and then talk about baseball, show my stuff. Either you like me or you don't like me. You like my cards or you don't. It kind of worked out, so it was cool. And here I am today, almost a year later, and still doing it. So there it is. Get a Gary Carter card, both sign it and send it, and I'll compensate the cost. I don't want you to pay me for a Gary Carter card, Steve. I'll just buy. But you want me and my son to autograph it and send it to you? Want me to spell Gary and him spell Carter? Dude, yeah, you may have never, Alex, you may have never thought about doing YouTube videos, but man, you have one of the best, production values. I don't know how long that takes you to do a 1-minute video or a 5 to 8 minute one where you're talking and showing off your specific, mail days or whatnot. But, I mean, I'm just sitting here with my camera or my phone, man. Like, I think we all know, my video production is the me hitting play or record and then me going to YouTube and uploading it. Like, that's it. I'm not doing anything too exciting here, but you have such a great way. I just love it. The music, I absolutely love the music on your videos. I can honestly just listen to music and just watch the videos. I love when I hear you talking because you're educating us. But your video production and the stuff you have to say is outstanding. What is up, brother? Now, I always get confused on how to pronounce your name. Is it Destamic? But what is your real name? But I always like to ask people that because my real name's Jason, just in case you didn't know. So I always hate calling people by their handles unless they prefer Micah. All right, thanks, Micah. But yeah, man, hey, welcome. Hang out with the group. There's 5 of us now. It's 5 o'clock, 5 people at 10:30 East Coast time. So that we'll take it. And your real name's Victor. You don't say. Yeah, man. Like I said, Alex, I finished that thought. I mean, I know it probably takes you a lot of time to really do that production value and all that. Maybe it doesn't, but it definitely shows, and I appreciate it, man. It's great. I love it. So was anybody a John Olerud fan back in the day? Do you all remember him? I know I kind of hit on it a few minutes ago, but I thought he was definitely a 90s guy back in the day. Now, Cito Gaston, the Toronto manager, my real name is Cash. Oh, is it now? Is your last name Johnny?
Oh, yeah, well, here's two.
It said, Really? That's cool. Here's a quote by his manager, Cito Gaston. He's the kind of kid you hope your son grows up to be. Wow. Wow. Now that's a quote that makes you almost get a little teary-eyed. He's the kind of kid you hope your son grows up to be. Man, that sounds awesome. That's like when you hear a father say, you know, you're the kind of son-in-law I want to have for my daughter or something. You're like, okay, I must be getting in pretty good with the family when you hear that kind of quote. So that's pretty cool when you hear that from your manager. Like, you know, he thinks that much of you. I remember everybody, I think his dad is a doctor. And one of the reasons why he wore his helmet was for protection. To keep him safe because he was worried about getting hit in the head with the ball. Yes, he definitely was a lot of buzz. A lot of buzz for John Olerud back in the day. Now, number 12 on the list in this binder, you all may have heard of this guy. A little bit before, I think, most of our time, but you may have heard of him. Aside from that, I will just tell you he was based off of a movie that was more famous than him. It was a movie called Major League, and then that movie came before the actual player. And then, shockingly, there's a guy named for the same movie star that was the role he was in. And then his parents must have really liked the movie, so they named him after the Wesley Snipes character, Willie Mays Hayes. I mean, some people just are so unoriginal. So, I mean, he was named after Wesley Snipes' character in the movie Major League. I can't believe that. I mean, like, come on, dude. Like, there are so many names in the world. Why would you name him after a movie name? You know, like, it's kind of almost sad and pathetic that his parents couldn't come up with a better name. That's it. You're right. That's it, Carter's Kids, yeah. Hit like Mays, run like Hayes, right. So anyways, we got Willie Mays, the Say Hey Kid, patrolling the polo grounds. So let's take a couple quotes from Willie Mays himself. All I ever wanted was to play baseball forever. Now that's a quote. That is a quote for you. Then Jim Murray, a sports writer. You've been cut already. What are you talking about, Mike? Did somebody cut you? When we call it a physician? Yeah, he's definitely an immortal, that's for sure. How old is Willie Mays now? He has to be in his late 80s, wouldn't you say? I don't know exactly. I don't know if it says when he was born. It doesn't say when he was born on here. Oh, maybe it does say no. He has to be in his late 80s. So this is what Jim Murray said, who was a sports writer during his time. He should play in handcuffs to even things up a bit. Wow, that's... I don't know. Willie Mays Hayes. You said he's what now, dude? Did you just say? I missed something. He's using the garter snake to ward off the cut slip. What in the world? Oh, yeah, right here? Yeah. I think that's what you're talking about. There's the catch. There's the catch heard around the world. Yeah. I know everybody makes a big deal about that catch, and of course, at that time, that catch was outstanding, not to take anything away. But I kind of feel like that catch gets blown a little bit out of proportion compared to a lot of the catches we've seen in the last 20, 30 years. But, you know. Oh, hold on. From the movie when Ceramic used the bow for... Oh, yes. Okay. Serrano, yes. So, yeah, now we're stuck in Major League. Sorry, guys. If you know... What was the Voodoo Doll's name? I forgot. I can't remember his name on Major League. But he would like refer to him like it's a live person. What was his name? I can't remember. All right, see you later. Jobu. Jobu, that's right. Yeah. All right, Steve. Well, hey, man, if you want to come back, we'll probably still be here. I'm sitting here playing with my baseball stuff. Jobu.
No.
Drinking some water. Jobu needs a refill.
Hey, Dad.
Number 30.
Liam was being nice and said, good luck on YouTube.
Oh, well, tell him I said thank you.
Hey, okay, I want to tell you that Jared Keeper sucks.
Who said that?
Quiet.
Why? When you're sleeping tonight, I'm going to get you.
Oh, and then also, my dad's YouTube, I'll put it in the chat, Liam is the best, because he's trying to support my dad even though he can't subscribe.
Ernie Banks, let's play 2. Ernie Banks comes at number 13 on this folder list.
Get 1 million subscribers one day.
That'd be awesome. I'll take 1 M. Ernie Banks.
Zombie Collector.
He passed away just not too long ago, the last couple of years.
Yeah. No.
What the quote here by Mr. Banks was, "The riches of the game are in the thrills, not the money." So there you go. Dollar dollar bill, y'all. Dollar dollar bill. And then the quote was given about him from Joe Godard, sports writer. Without Ernie Banks, the Cubs would finish in Albuquerque. Without Ernie Banks, the Cubs would finish in Albuquerque. That's pretty shocking. During the time of Ernie Banks, who else was on the Cubs that were who was any good? Ron Santo, maybe? Was there anybody else during that time that would have been any good during that time? I can't think of anybody. I agree. It kind of doesn't make that much sense. I don't even know, of all the quotes that could have been said about Ernie Banks by so many people, why do they pick that one? Fergie Jenkins, okay, that's another one, yeah. Hey, Alex, when do you make another video, dude? Are you going to make any new videos?
I won't be wrong.
The highlights for Ernie Banks are as follows. 11-time All-Star National League stars, 11-time National League All-Star selection, 2-time National League MVP, 2-time National League Home Run champ, 2-time National League RBI champ, and Hall of Fame in 1977. So that's pretty cool, dude. Ernie Banks. Let me get it back over here. How good was he? So you can take a look at that. How good was he?
I know.
So Ernie Banks is right in there with Hank Aaron, Mickey Mantle, Eddie Matthews, and Willie Mays when it comes to hits, home runs, and RBIs during the 1955 to 1960 season. I don't think people really realize that. Like Mike, baseball collector, just picked up an Ernie Banks. He said he needed a little brother for Hank Aaron during their rookie cards. I believe it was 1954 rookie cards. I could be wrong there. Sorry if I was wrong. But Mike, baseball card collector, he picked up an Ernie Banks. But I don't think I ever really realized during that 5-year stretch, he was in the same group with Hank Aaron, Mickey Mantle, Eddie Matthews, and Willie Mays. That's an impressive list of Hall of Famers. And just to give you an idea of where he was at, he actually was ahead of Mantle and Matthews when it came to hits in that 5-year time. He had more home runs than any of them together, not combined, but during that whole time. And he had more RBIs than all of them together during that time. So that is pretty impressive if you think about it, how well he was doing during that time, that 5-year span. Oh my gosh, Phil's fan, what is going on? You like? Yeah, thanks, dude. It was a Goodwill special. For $1 American, Caesar's in the hizzy. You know it's time to get serious now when Caesar's here. I love it. So, hey, we're just talking about Ernie Banks. And now we're talking about one and only
Now.
Mickey
Guys,
the
go
Mick
to the
Mantle.
corner like that.
Mickey
Don't
Mantle.
already.
You all may have heard of this bloke.
Okay,
And so let's take a look at some of the quotes that were given by him or to him. Here's a quote from Mickey Mantle himself. Baseball was my whole life. Nothing's ever been as fun. That's a bold statement.
are you glad?
Tom Greenwade, a Yankee scout, gave this quote about Mick.
Yeah.
The first time I saw Mantle, I knew I'd never have another moment like that.
Wait.
That's a pretty nice quote.
No.
That when somebody saw him play, that he was just so magical, like a unicorn, that they would never see something like that ever again. It's kind of weird. Like a lot of these players,
3.
aside from John Olerud, I think, or we saw, has all been like 6 foot or shorter.
Let's go.
I, for some reason, would think that these players, because in my mind, they're just like giants. And they're all around like 6 foot tall. Like Mickey Mantle's 6 foot tall. That's what it says here, at least. I was surprised by that. Maybe it just like goes to show you when, you know, you have these guys in your mind that's just like being so bigger than life. But then in reality, they're just normal, everyday looking blokes that just know how to swing at the bat really hard and get that home run or get a good hit on the field. I gotta wet my whistle, sorry guys. Here are a few highlights from the Mick. Triple Crown winner in 1956. 7-time World Series champ. 7 times. 3-time American League MVP. 4-time American League home run champ. Gold Glove winner in 1962. And Hall of Fame in 74. He only won 1 Gold Glove and it was in the 60s? That's kind of surprising. That seems like he would have won a whole lot more than 1. But what do I know? So, for the 4 people that's in here, I guess you all still here. During this time frame, I know that Alex will have an opinion, or he should. Who is your top player that you really is your favorite during the 50s? Because we're talking about the 50s here mostly, 50s and 60s, late 40s maybe. Who is your number 1 top player? Not your top favorite player to collect. Who's your top player? Like, who do you think was the best player during that generation? And there's no wrong answers. I'm not going to be like Dustin Abraham and give people a hard way to go if they don't pick who he thinks are the best top players in the ever to play the game. Anybody have a suggestion? Like my player during that time, unequivocally across the board, I'm going to say Ted Williams. Ted Williams is by far, in my opinion, during that time, the best baseball player, bar none.
Oh no.
Mays, okay, I like it. I dig it.
I need rest.
That's too old.
Oh, it's this guy. It's a teammate.
Ain't nothing wrong with Willie Mays being on that list. Like saying that, I completely agree. I just think Ted Williams was the best pure hitter. I mean, I would watch a lot of documentaries about Ted Williams. Yeah. I mean, and the thing about it is, and I think Willie Mays is in the same boat, but I think Ted Williams went back twice. His career would have even been more outstanding if it wasn't for military service. Because not only did he fight in World War II, he went back and fought in Korea. No one else did that. Not to my knowledge. I could be wrong. But to my knowledge, everybody else went back to playing baseball. When the Korean War broke out from 1950 to 53, you know, all the major stars stayed and played baseball. But Ted Williams got back in an airplane and was fighting still. Exactly. Exactly. So to me, how good he was, whatever, actually is not as good as it would have been or could have been based on his military service. He would have been even a better player, which I believe is kind of shocking to say, but he would have even been better. I don't think there could be an argument made that he would have been worse. because there was no indication that he would have been a worse ball player given an opportunity. If anything, he continued to get better as he aged. Really, I mean, he kept coming back and doing well. I mean, of course, towards the end, like anybody, things were not that great, but I mean, he hung in there. Teddy Ball Game. What is, out of all the nicknames, including, yes, yeah, I'm sorry, Bob Feller was another one I think that would have been even better and had even better statistics, more than he already had, if he wasn't called into military service, or, you know, not necessarily he wanted to go or join. But I agree. So, out of all the nicknames that you ever heard about baseball players, what is your favorite nickname of a baseball player? It doesn't matter. It could be any decade. It could have been the guy that came out yesterday, or it could have been in 1891. What is your favorite nickname for a baseball player? Anybody have any favorites or a favorite? Probably one of my favorite nicknames for a baseball player was for Dave Parker, the Cobra. I don't even know how he got the name. I don't know much about it. Huh?
I forget what movie he was. I forget.
But the Cobra, I like that one a lot. I don't know. Like I said, it just always struck me as a cool nickname. I know there was like a baseball card series that went out from Topps a couple years ago. They were all nicknames on the cards. They autographed their signatures, but they also put their nickname, like Rhino or the Hawk or whatever, Iron Man or whatever it was, Iron Horse. So wow, that's pretty cool, Mike. I like that. That's a cool statistic. Neon Dion. I like that. Yeah, Neon Dion. Deion Sanders, I'm pretty sure that's who we're talking about. That's pretty funny. 570 combined wins when you got Burt Bevlin, Jim Cott, and who was it? Johan Santana. That's pretty impressive. Wow, 570. That's pretty cool. Neon Dion.
Hey guys, hey, let's make the game. This is Kobe. He's really good.
Neon Dion. I like it. I'm trying to think. Anybody else got any names out there that they like, they dig? Any other nicknames? We got Neon Dion and we got the Cobra. Anybody else have anything? Not Cobra Kai, though that would be awesome as well. Cobra Kai. But I don't want to get off on a tangent about movies and TV shows. It could go on all night, and I'm sure we all have better things to do. I'm kind of thinking about opening some packs. Do we want to see me open some packs? I have some 89 Don Russ, and I have some 1991 Don Russ. Wow. Really? That was just Burt and Jim. Okay. Yeah, Johan Santana was on there. I guess you're right. That'd be awesome. I didn't even think about that. 570, man. That is crazy. I just don't think about those two guys as that many wins between the two of them. But that's because they're like names that you obviously recognize and know they're all-stars and Hall of Famers or whatnot. But it's a pretty impressive list. Excuse me, guys. Oh my goodness. Here, I'm thinking about opening some packs. I'm not for sure if I'm going to do it or not, but I don't even know. Is this not? Oh, I got 1990. I thought it was. Well, no, yeah, this is 1990. 1990 Don Russ. Let me show you. This is the good stuff, right? This is what I've heard.
No.
Look at this. Pack Fresh. The good stuff right here. I don't think there is a single solitary rookie card in this series that anybody would get excited about. I don't think there's anything to even pull out of here that's any good. I mean, you got some Hall of Famers. Bernie Williams. That's it, Bernie Williams. You're right. Bernie Williams rookie card. If I pull a Bernie Williams rookie card out of here, Victor, it's yours.
Dad, are you opening a pack?
No, I'm not right now. Well, do you want to open a pack if I do?
Yeah. I'll do it with you.
Juan Gonzalez. Juan Gon. I think, Victor, you introduced me to Juan Gon, the name, the nickname Juan Gon. I never heard it before, so that's cool. Thank you. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna try not to like snap my finger. There we go. Snap. So 1991 Donruss, 1990 Donruss has Wangan and Bernie Williams as the sole rookies. Yeah, I like their Diamond Kings. Yeah, the Diamond Kings are right. But this product by far is the epitome of junk era. There's nothing really good in it. The card stock is crap. I do believe you're right. The design's awful. The card stock's nasty. No rookies, no inserts to get excited about. Bless you. Bless you. It just kind of like exists. So, yeah, I'm kind of like, not that great. Not that great. But I came across some boxes I couldn't pass up on. I think it was just a few bucks a box at an auction. I was like, yeah, I'll bid a couple bucks, and then I actually won. So I was like, yeah, just give them all to me. So it was like 3 or 4 boxes for like $2 or $3. I mean, definitely I get my money back in a couple cards, but yeah, it was pretty cheap. See, there you go. We should do a pack war where you and I are busting some 1990 Donruss. I bet we get 1 million views because that's the kind of stuff that people lose their minds over. They're like, are you kidding me? You got some 90 Donruss? No way. Let's see it. Let's see it. Do it. Do it right now. Let's get this out here. Get these packs out, and we're going to make it happen right now. Those packs are priceless. I want you to get that Larry Walker, and I want you to get it like yesterday. That's just a little tidbit of what I'm sure it would feel and look like if we did a pack war with 1990 Donruss.
I'm the one who told you that there were a bunch of jetpacks in there.
I'm trying. Maybe 89 Donruss is a better option.
Yeah,
but I also have some basketball cards. I don't even know in packs I've never opened before.
I'll trade you a chug jug for it. I'll trade you a chug jug for it.
The infamous pink envelope. Has anybody ever been given the pink envelope? The infamous pink envelope. I need to find someone to send something to in the infamous pink envelope.
No, I'll trade you a chug jug. Come on, bro.
Come on, bruh. Come on, bruh. My son and his Fortnite playing. Whoops. Oh, okay. I thought I missed a comment. Not enchilada. Daijoubu desu. Gingi. Daijoubu desu ka? Luka-chan. Luka. Daijoubu. Skala-tan ne?
No, I'm not tired at all.
So desu ka?
Yeah. I feel nice and refreshed.
Yes. I don't even know if this is the actual legendary pink envelope or not, or envelope, depending on what part of the country you're from. I say envelope, but I've heard envelope. I don't know. But I don't know if this is the one that everybody speaks about, or I just got somebody just sent me something in the mail. But it did come from a YouTuber. I'm not for sure. Pink tacos. Ooh, it's like a nice little fan. It's like I'm sitting at church. And I'm like fanning myself. I'm like, woo! Yes! Yes, sir! So, yeah. It's nice. I got me some binder action going on over here, too, guys. Let's take a look at this binder action. What's in this big binder? What's in your big binder? What do you got going on in your big binder, big guy? Ooh, let's take a gander. All right, so I got to think about how to do this the right way without making a huge mess. All right, let me move my Larry Walker autograph, bent up autograph card out of the way. All right, so I got some Jeff Bagwell. Let's see who else do I have over here. Ivan Rodriguez. You might want to see my Ivan Rodriguez PC, dude. Victor Negron. Victor Negron.
Did that trap supposed to get you? No.
I got a lot of not Victor Martinez. I'm sorry. I got a lot of Ivan Rodriguez.
Can somebody come get
I got Craig Biggio over here.
Can I die?
Scott Rowland.
Trying to do this.
Rolling. A lot of Cal Ripken Jr. PC. And then I got some Andre the Hawk Dawson. And then I'll finish it up with, I finish it up with the Ryan Express Nolan Ryan PC. So I have quite a few guys in this binder. I had more guys in here than I realized. Oh, man. Well, it sounds like I have a lot of players. You're right, but honestly, you know, each player has maybe like 3 or 4 pages max dedicated to them. So, I think in my...
Do you even realize?
What's up, Justin? Skull's Big Hits. Oh, yeah. Party can start now. We got an actual real college kid in here. I feel like I'm so cool if I'm in here with a college guy in here hanging out with us. We must be doing something right. We're talking baseball. I know that's probably shocking to you, dude. Party time! You got that right, Victor. Justin. Justin's a big Brewers fan. I'm not going to hold that against them. They're having a pretty decent season. They're doing better than my Cincinnati Reds, that's for sure. So, do we want to see some Ivan Rodriguez? Nah, man, I'm not in Cleveland, dude. I end up staying here. Long story short, I have a new job. I got a job a couple months ago that's a brand new job, and I really couldn't ask off of extra time. It's a new job, so I didn't want to be like, yeah, I need like another day or 2 off after only being there a month. I didn't think it would be a problem, but in hindsight, it was a little bit like, they frowned upon that, so I just ended up having to suck it up and miss it this year. So next year it's in Chicago. I'm definitely going. It's only like a 2.5, 3.5 hour drive or something like that, depending on what part of Chicago it's at. So it's going to be a lot more reasonable for me to make it that time. So I'm probably just going to wait and go then. But yeah, I would like to go. How is it, man? How is the national? You get anything good? I like it. Can I say this? Is this like politically incorrect to say? I find it interesting that I'll have a lot of people show up in the video. Like, it'll like be a ticker that shows how many people show up, and then sometimes they'll go up to like 4, 5, 6, 3, whatever, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then like people don't even say hey. They just like show up, get in the video or get in the stream, and they hop off. They don't even say like, hey Jason, or I hope you take a long walk up a short pier, or you suck, or anything. They just like show up, look around for like 10 seconds, and then disappear. So who knows? Who knows? It's a med kit. I can't believe it. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I know, it is like, they're like, oh, this Jason, never mind, that guy's lame. Screw that guy. They like get right off here. I have like 10 Ivan Rodriguez pages, dude. Like front and back. Maybe 11. Do you collect Rodriguez? Ivan Rodriguez? I'm sorry, Ivan Rodriguez? I just recently found out that's how you pronounced it. I thought it was Ivan this entire time, but apparently it's Ivan. That's my bad.
Yeah.
Obviously didn't know any better.
There's people in here.
One of my son's best buddies from school, his name's Yvonne. And so every time I'd see him, I'd be like, "Oh, hey, Ivan," and then they're like, "Yeah, that's not how you pronounce it." I'm like, "Okay." I need to go back and watch some of these videos. I feel like I've seen them, but it starts all running together. Everybody's videos and who said what and who showed what video on what video. So it starts getting confusing of like who did what on the video. So I feel bad when I see you say, "Oh yeah, I did a video about Clemente and I did a video about Ivan Rodriguez," and I'm like, the Clemente one I remember, but the one Rodriguez, I'm like, how did I miss that? Because like I said, I don't really PC him, but obviously I have a lot of his cards. True. I remember yeah. It's starting to run together now that I'm almost at 100 videos. I'm starting to forget like content that I've done. So like I have a video that I'm gonna release tomorrow. It actually has nothing to do with baseball. It's all movie related. It's like some of my autograph collection. Excuse me. It's some of my autograph collection from my films that I've done through the mail or in-person autographs. It'll be the first time I've ever done anything like that. Like I actually showed a whole video dedicated to nothing to do with sports whatsoever. So we'll see. I know there's been a big interest in me doing it from quite a few people. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the trigger and try it. Yeah, dude, you got to work on those binders after all those Roberto Alomar cards I loaded you up with. After you do that binder video, or after you get them all in a binder, you need to do a video so I can see all that awesomeness you got going for you. I feel like I want to just take my phone here, go sit somewhere else so I can just relax and chat. But I might fall asleep and that'd be embarrassing. I want to see that Roberto Alomar video, dude. No, I kid you not. Once you get him in a binder, you need to do it. I probably have more Alomars too. So if you really want me to load you up on Alomar cards, dude, you just let me know. And I might have more Bernie. I was going to say Bernie Sanders. Yeah, more Bernie Williams cards. I don't have many Bernie Sanders cards, but I might have a lot more Bernie Williams cards if you want. No, not at all. I didn't send you any Roberto Alomars. Nope, you're right. I sent you mostly Sandy Alomar Jr. and Senior cards. No Roberto Alomar cards. Not a single solitary one.
Dan became sixth place.
Sixth place might as well be last.
Whatever. It's better than you could ever do.
Micah, I like how you... What binders you got on, Micah? What binders you gonna do? Who do you PC, Micah? Like, who's your major players you're PCing?
Right, where'd it go? Orange Justice on 3. 1, 2, 3.
7. Actually, I think I am going to just take you into the other room, guys. Let's see, y'all can... This is going to be kind of scary maybe for you.
1, 2, 3.
So I'm just taking it in here.
Hi.
Well, I'm not.
TV playing.
Nah, I'm not putting them on where you can see play.
Oh,
I'm going to show you all some of my film collection, actually.
The thing that I got you for your Father's Day.
I will show them the thing you bought me for Father's Day, everybody. So here, I'm going to just turn the camera around, and we'll try not to make it so, like, shaky and stuff. But my son bought me this awesome Mega Man pop.
I just have that feeling.
And it was an exclusive from the convention from a couple of months ago. But if you see all my pops there, I got Jason Voorhees, and I got some of the characters from the Rogue One and Elektra and Luke Cage. You got a Kurt Schilling back here hanging out. You see that or not? So, anyways,
Okay,
I saw that you all, somebody posted something, so I'm going to go back and look. Inserts, purple one. I've got over 8,800 different twin cards. Wow. Maybe I can send you some Twins cards then, dude, because I got tons of Twins cards I don't collect. The only twin I collect is Kirby Puckett. So maybe you might want. Actually, you know, now that I think about it, one of the
Yeah, your mic is so quiet.
yeah, those sports pops are pretty awesome. I highly recommend. I try to pick as much of the baseball ones up as I can, and if I have any affinity for any, you know, I'm always like, oh, I'll pick some of those up. But there's a baseball player who plays for the Twins right now, Kyle Gibson, who's actually from the town next door to where I live. And the town I'll go to tomorrow, there's a baseball card shop in that town. And Kyle Gibson, who's a pitcher for the Twins right now, is from that town. So he's a big deal there because obviously he, you know, is a Major League Baseball player. So let me try to show you some of the collection here. This is just a small little thing here. Maybe I should, not that anybody cares, but yeah. 500 different Kirby Pucketts, man. That is awesome, dude. Awesome. So yeah. Do you know who Kyle Gibson is, Micah? Have you ever heard of him? Oh, look, there's a Frankenstein's monster, and if you go over here, there's Leatherface. He's ready to do some damage. And over here we have Jaws. And then we got some Wrestlers. And then here's one of my favorite movies from the back in the 50s. The Fly.
No, I'm not giving him my minis.
All right, guys. Well, I've been on here for a little over an hour and a half almost going on, so I'm going to go ahead and call it a night.
No, don't call the night, because that means I have to call the night.
So I hope you all enjoy the video, and we'll try to do one of these again sometime soon. You all take care. Thanks for watching. I greatly appreciate everybody who popped in and said something. I think I had the total of about 5 or 6 people at one given time, which is kind of cool. Again, for somebody who I don't think I mean, obviously I'm not like a big deal, except to my mom and dad. So it's cool that somebody, you know, enough people showed up and said, hey, so I appreciate it, man. Take care, guys. And I will see you soon. Peace.